Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your retro future boy, Ricky Summer here. And today I've come back in time to do the Necromancy Test in Wolcen, Lords of Fashion. But first, a message from our sponsor.
Love Punk. Window shopping for humans.
So what's the Necromancy Test? I'm so glad you asked. Listen, you know what Ricky Summer likes, you know what he dislikes, but there are a few things, a mere handful of concepts that Ricky Summer loves. Among them, maces and necromancy, death magic. Specifically, summoning the dead, reanimating corpses, that sort of shit. That's what necromancy is all about. So whenever a new ARPG comes out, like Wolcen, Lords of Fashion, we have to do the necromancy test. And the necromancy test determines whether it is viable, whether it is possible to create a build in this game that relies on reanimating the dead, on necromancy, death magic, spreading pestilence, being just a downright nuisance. And I'm more than happy to report that in Wolcen, Lords of Fashion, it is possible. Alright, I'm going to show you how I did it. So let's summon all our boys right now. There we go. These are our boys. Plus one large boy. Okay, so let me run through the skills here. First, the minions. We've got Hunting Swam. Summon a zombie that deals damage with range attacks. If the number of zombies is at a maximum, they focus fire on the target underneath the cursor. Pretty straightforward. Then we've got the Feeding Swam. Summon a Zamboni that deals Damaggio with melee attacks. If the number of Zambonis is at a maximum, they charge towards a location of the cursor, like so. Look at them go. Look at them charge. What do you think of that? Bum rushing, right? And then we've got our boy, Large Man. Livor Mortis. Sounds Latin. Sounds beautiful. Summon a large poison golem that cleaves enemies. If skill is cast again, Golem shouts a war cry that generates threat. He's our tank. He draws threat, he draws aggro. It's a beautiful marrying of concepts. We've got the range boys. We've got the up close, the beaters, the damage dealers. And we've got the tank. But wait, we're going to tie it all together with Plague Burst. Cast an area of effect that causes enemies or summons to explode upon death, dealing poison Damaggio in an area of effect. And this, my friends, is how it's done. Let me show you why this is so important. A hypothetical. We run into combat. Boom, Plague Burst. Either the enemy dies or your minions die. Doesn't matter which. Then they explode in poison and they start poisoning others. But wait, there's more. So in Wolcen, you can customize the skills a little further. So we go over to Plague Burst here. And I'll tell you what, we've got two things that make this a fantastic skill and a fantastic build and a joy to play. Firstly, we've got Disgrace. Allows skill to be cast to the location of the cursor. Huge, huge. Instead of you having to run in there and draw all the aggro, we can decide where to cast Plague Burst. Secondly, leaves, and this is huge, this is it. This is a single alteration to Plague Burst that made this build come alive for me. And it allowed me to defeat Paladin Dance, who's the big bad boss of Act 1. I was struggling, man. I was. But this is it. Leaves a poisonous cloud when an enemy or friendly summon dies, dealing Damaggio over time. This is how it's done. So, you run into battle, you drop Plague Burst, something dies, it triggers a smog, everything gets a dot, is poisoned, dies. You understand? So things die from the poison, and then they also trigger Plague Burst. So they just keep exploding, and the poison keeps going off and spreading. It's beautiful. But then, hey yo, hypothetical, you're up against a big boss. And, you know, your minions are dying left and right. Well, good! Because then your minions are going to conjure, they're going to trigger Plague Burst. And they're going to spread the noxious fumes. And then the boss slowly dies from poison. That's what I'm talking about. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go into... and then, you know, just icing on the candle. Candles on the icing, cake. There's some sort of confectionery. We don't quite understand what. But we've got anvils woe. And this is just, like I said, because your boy loves maces. So if you're going to let me use a mace, we're going to use a mace. Alright? So the whole point of this is just to have a skill that is going to use up all the rage that we're going to generate. So just a little quick primer here. In Wolcen, whenever you use like magic, you're going to use up your willpower and it's going to generate rage. So then you have to disperse that rage somehow. I've chosen to do it using Anvil's Woe. So let's have a look at Hunting Swarm first. So this is not a max level build. I'm just level 25 currently. We're getting through it, you know. This is, for context, this is the character that I've been using on my streams. I've been streaming this for the past week, and we're going to continue on because I'm having so much fun with this game. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's when it goes down. Alright, so... Of Dinge and Grime. Convert summons base physical damage to toxic damage. It's the theme. We're going toxic. Alright? And we get 6 plus 69 summon health. You can't pass up any stat boost that is at 69. You can't do it. Okay. Then we're going to go over to the Feeding Swam. We've got convert summon base physical damage to toxic damaggio. Plus 138 summon health. You're seeing the theme here. And we've got increased summon health because, you know, we can throw that in there as well. Then we go over to Liver Mortis. We've got increased health. And currently, I'm running with Summon generates more threat. Because that's what I want. Especially with bosses. The big guy, he needs to take all the damage. Because then we can hang back and just do what we need to do. We do what we do best. You and me, come hold my hand. Let's have a look at the passives. So what's fantastic about... Maybe not, well, you may... Listen, I don't know if it's fantastic, but what's unique about the passive skill tree in Wolcen, Lords of Fashion, is you got these 3 rings and you can move them around. You can move them around. But make no mistake, when you do that, if they don't link up, then you lose those passives. Anyway, so I've started with Scholar. Spell damage, ailment damage, you know, poison. I'm not like super clear on this, but I think toxic and poison go hand in hand. Toxic is the damage, poison is the ailment of toxic. I think Wolcen. Damage types. I want to get my facts straight here. Toxic can inflict poison, dealing damage over time. Yes, I was correct about that. Okay, so if we're doing toxic damage, poison is the ailment that it inflicts. Just like, think of it like you're doing fire damage, burning is the ailment that fire damage inflicts. So we're going with some ailment buffs here, so we can get that poison going. And then we're going to go up here into Assassin. That's so that we can get these poison nodes here. And then a percentage of physical damage becomes toxic damage, alright? Just stacking that toxic. And ultimately, we're going to come up into here, into Abyssal Shaper, and we're going to go absolutely nuts with ailment and shit. Is that what that's about? Status, ailment, chance score. It's got a little bit of ailment stuff. It's got some ailment stuff, that's fine. But more importantly, we're coming over to Kabbalist over here. And Kabbalist, you know, it's going to give us ailments, make no mistake, but it's also a stepping stone over to Plaguebringer. And Plaguebringer, let me tell you, is going to give us lots of summon damage. Some summon buffs, a bit of toxic. That's what I'm talking about there. This is not a build guide. I'm just sharing my excitement. So that, my friends, is more or less the necromancy test. Every ARPG has to go through it. If an ARPG does not pass the necromancy test, I'm sorry, I don't play it. That's tough cheese to swallow, but that's how it goes. Now I'm sure you want to see how this thing plays out. All right. Okay. You're saying, hey, Ricky Summer, you saying you got a necromancy build in Wolcen laws of fashion? I don't believe you. Show me. I come from the show me part of the internet. I'm from the show me forums, from the show me subreddit. Is there one of those? Hold on. Reddit show me. r/show me. I don't think there is. Yo, can we create that? I understand. I get it. The internet is a dark and dangerous place. You want to make sure that the information that you're getting is accurate and cromulent. I get it. So without further gilding the lily and with no more ado, we're gonna take your boy into the depths of hell itself. Necro versus Necro. Look at the clouds. Look at it go. It's a mystical and magical time to be alive. They're just popping. It's like Tuesday night down at the discotheque. Popping and locking. I don't even have to do shit. I'm just out here, maybe smacking an individual with my big mace. Look at that. Give me the horn visor. Give me the spolders. Your boy deserves spolders. He demands spolders at all times. You got spolders? Give me those spolders. Alright, so what's it like playing the necromancer in Wolcen Lords of Mayhem? Listen, so I come mostly from a Path of Exile background, just for context. And, you know, naturally I play mostly necromancer builds in Path of Exile. Listen, it's different. It's a different beast. I feel like in Path of Exile at this point, the way the game is currently balanced, that's a big man over there. Like, you set up your necros, and you're mostly good to go, you know? Whereas in Wolcen, you got to get used to the fact that, especially early game, you got to be resummoning your boys a lot, right? So it's a much more active playstyle than the likes of Path of Exile, and that's fine. Just takes getting used to. In fact, I feel like the whole style of the game is just very slow. You don't have anywhere near the tools that you need to really feel like you're snowballing. But I think maybe once you get to the end of Act 1, at least in my experience, that's when it starts to hit. And you get some cool interactions. You get some dankness going on. What do I think of the game as a whole? I'm loving it. I really am. Now, I'm not sure I can in good conscience recommend it, considering how many people are having such severe issues. What did I just find? What is this? That's a shoulder? Are you serious? It's that one there? Alright, that looked more magnificent in the... Alright, so the game has a couple bugs. I've been, for once, lucky in that I haven't come across anything game-breaking. But, you know, there's been a couple of nuisance issues. Occasionally my character will just get stuck in T-pose. That's fun. Look, I'm a role player. I just assume that she's asserting her dominance over the hordes of Zambonis that we're taking out. That's fine, I respect that. Wait, is that just a literal skull? I gotta tell you, this is quite possibly... This is the best thing about the game. Oh! I need to switch to rogue armor. Holy shit! That's necromancy right there. Oh god. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, all right. If you're super mechanics driven, you only care about the mechanics of the game. maybe that sort of thing isn't for you. But as someone who is a loot whore and likes to have my character looking dank and fine as hell, this just appeals to me. I'm just having so much fun, not just putting together the build, but then also making my character look dank. But yes, I can't in good conscience say, yes, I recommend this game because a lot of people are having issues. I am just lucky that I'm not having any, or barely any issues at all. But there you go, guys. Let's not belabor the point. The necromancer slaps, alright? That's all I'm here to say. That's all I'm here to tell you. That if you are like me and you cannot play an ARPG without necromancy, the necromancy is at an all-time high. And you can rest assured that you can get down with the corpses in Wolcen. Lords of Fashion. But for the moment, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to gently caress that like button. Taste the game. Be excellent to each other. Ooh. And I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer. Out.